Hey, I'm Myers, and going to do another review video here. This time is an Australian band, and the relationship of Australian bands and punk has been around a long fucking time. How it happened, like we don't fucking know. Like, pre-internet days, how, in my opinion, there's going to be somebody fucking flaming me in the comments or whatever about how I'm completely wrong. But my opinion, punk started in Detroit, with the MC5. And then outside Ann Arbor, outside of Detroit and Ann Arbor, you had the Stooges, and really, I think it was like a triangulation of Detroit and Cleveland and Akron is where punk started, and where you had Rocket from the Tubes, which is like pre Dead Boys, Cheetah Chrome with pre Perubu, Dave Thomas, and like so many fucking great bands coming out of that triangulated area of Detroit, Akron, and Cleveland. Chrissy Hine and the Pretenders are from that area. But like the Pagans are from that way. Just a fuck ton of great fucking bands. Detroit. I'm sure you guys have all seen the documentary, A Band Called Death. You had bands like that. But like Alice Cooper is from Detroit, where, even more, some of your more mainstream bands, being from over there, Detroit always had a killer fucking, hard rock, punk scene, and what's funny about it is I've seen interviews on documentaries and interviews of all these fucking hard bands, talking about they saw the Who at Cobo Hall, and it changed who they were as musicians. It changed how they heard and perceived rock and roll. Who they were as musicians changed. So I wonder what the fuck happened that night at Cobo Hall with the Who. Because so much, like all these fucking musicians talk about how their whole fucking world changed that night in Detroit seeing the Who at Cobo Hall. So, I don't know what happened there that night, but it sounds like fucking magic happened for a lot of fucking people there. So, that being said, early stuff come from Detroit and New York. The Velvet Underground doing their thing, and then eventually you got the Dolls coming out in New York, and it was kind of weird because you had like this wellspring happen in different places. I mean, you had the Modern Lovers in Boston happening about the same time as you had the New York Dolls in New York, and completely fucking different musically, but they became they were the forerunners of what became known as punk. And but like, let's say 77, you got 76, 77, you got the whole English thing, the Clash and the Sex Pistols, the Damned, you name them all, whatever. But in LA, shit was starting to happen, shit was starting to happen with the Germs and Black Flag and some of those bands. And, how, pre-internet days, how did what was going on in LA translate to what's going on in New York, translate to what's going on in London, and then down in Australia, same fucking shit's going on with Radio Birdman and the Saints and X and the Australian band X, not the LA band X. But Yeah, I mean, it's fucking amazing. All these fucking, what Radio Birdman was doing, I mean, like the precursor, a lot of punk roll that I'm into. I mean, I fucking love Radio Birdman. But, like, there was no fucking roadmap for those guys to, I mean, they were charting their own fucking course, and, like I said, like, even, there weren't really international zines at the time. There was no internet, whatever. These guys were just doing their own fucking, and it's weird how all kind of happened around the world all about the same time, but, Australians, I mean, they had Radio Birdman, they had the Saints, they had X, a bunch of great bands. Even though they got really mainstream and top 40 or whatever, and XS was great, but anyways, the band I want to talk to you right now about is Grindhouse, and these guys are fucking killer punk and roll. If you haven't been paying attention to Grindhouse, you gotta check them out. These guys, they do it. I mean, it's straightforward, hard-driven punk and roll. There's a little bit of fucking humor in it. Here's front cover. That's their look right there. Here's a band photo. That's their look. They wear these fucking Chippendale style collars, no shirts, and whether it be a cowboy hat or a motorcycle helmet, whatever. These guys are fucking insane, and great fucking killer punk and roll. They got great fucking videos on YouTube. Anyways, you guys need to be checking out Grindhouse. They're totally up my fucking alley. I hate these. This is a 45 RPM 12 inch. And, so you get in a fucking bad habit of, you throw it on assuming, it's going to be 33 or whatever. You got to fucking switch it over to 45. I hate when people do that. I understand, yeah, if if you don't have the length to go, full 33 RPM 12 inch or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, not a big fan of the 45 RPM 12 inch, but show you what we got here. Black paper sleeve, no insert, but this is a beautiful fucking record. We got purple here with some streaks in it. Am I holding it up right? There's the center label, and god damn it, it's fucking amateur hour tonight. But yeah, here's fucking Grindhouse. They're fucking killer. So song I'm going to play you is Peter Brock Built My Hot Rod. He'll build yours too. So a lot of songs about cars. They got a song about like there was a GM Australian only company called Holden that GM folded not too long ago, that they lamented as far as the death of the Australian car industry or whatever. They got songs, So I mean, these Australian gearheads, playing straightforward punk and roll. I mean, you'll dig them. Dave Jansen, this is right up your fucking alley. If you're not listening to Grindhouse, you gotta check these guys out. If you like these videos, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.
baby, can't you tell? VA going straight to hell.